the world hangs on the brink of nuclear war. Do you think that that's overstating the case?
No. That's what worried me from the beginning, and that's probably why I got involved in all this stuff, because I go back to the 60s when I was when we were so close to nuclear war. I lived through that period, and I thought, as many people did, that it was gonna come now. So I've lived through that, and I didn't sense the period in '83 when Reagan took us to the edge. If you remember correctly, Able Archer was an exercise that almost brought us to an, because the Russians were really paranoid at that point, and they were responding to our military exercise on Able Archer. There was also the Korean airliner that went down. There were numerous incidents in the 80s, but I never felt the fear. I thought Reagan was testing the limits, but perhaps if I'd been younger, I would have felt it. But anyway, no, we come close. The United States has risked this several times. If I told you, it would be hard for you to believe. If I could set a scene for you in a drama in 1962, when Kennedy has a meeting with the Joint Chiefs of Staff and the CIA, and they talk about a plan, the military plan, to first strike the Soviet Union and China. Okay, it was called. It was an Eisenhower plan that had been put into potential operation in early 60s or 50s, late 50s, SIOP 62. This was an attack on the Soviet Union, first strike. That's why the United States has never given up the concept of first strike. It's interesting that the Russian nuclear policy posture is more defensive than the American one, which leaves options open. It's the same options that are open in neoconservative agreements that we see from the late 90s, where they say the emergence of a rival power will not be tolerated. That's a very broad statement, and it allows you to do a lot, including nuclear. So you have to understand the United States is always, first of all, it breaks so many treaties. We know that from the Putin story about the anti-ballistic missile treaty in 2002, and then the INF treaty they broke that one. That was the intermediate missiles. That was 2019. I don't know when they broke it off, but the United States has not been very faithful on its nuclear agreements. And so I don't know that we can even deal with the United States diplomatically. It seems to be impossible. Now, brings me to Biden.
Yes,
and this is
another Irishman.
This is the opposite of Kennedy. Kennedy was a Catholic Irish anti-imperialist. Biden seems to be the opposite. He seems to be a get along, go along guy who's been not only old, but he's also gone along with this program, which I voted for Biden because I feared Trump, but I thought Biden at a certain age would mellow. I really did. He's not mellowed. Apparently, he's still listening to these people and he believes them. And it seems that that horrible woman, Victoria Nuland, who was Undersecretary of State, he appointed her to this sector of the world. She's very influential, and she's been one of the worst people on Ukraine. She obviously was behind the coup. She was the one who boasted that, we got our man in, Yatsenuk, and also remember the famous statement, "Fuck the EU," all these things. But she's back, and she said the other day about if the Russians use nuclear weaponry of any kind, there's going to be a horrible price to pay. She was out of the blue. I said, what the hell is she doing? She's talking nuclear all of a sudden. And then since that day, everybody in the U.S. press, all the shows have gone, talk nuclear, nuclear, nuclear. Secretary of State has done it. Blinken, it scares you. If you think about it, the United States scares me.